Real quick before we dive in, if you're a regular here, consider pulling up a seat to the Patreon. The seat, the table, the kitchen. 3 tiers starting at just $5 a month. Built for the people who don't just listen, they feel it. Patreon.com/TMHF podcast show. Link is always in the show notes. All right, when you pulled the flip for OPP, how hard do you think it was going to get cleared? How did you think that? How hard did you think it was going to be for that to get cleared?
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it being hard to clear. I just did the work. That was it. And then once we crossed that bridge, we crossed it.
Yeah, just let it be what it's
I
going to be.
do remember though, our attorney, Stu Levy, calling me saying, Kay, so here's the clearance on OPP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's too much. What do you want to do? I'm like, man, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what it was. They took basically 90% of the song or something crazy like that.
Oof.
Yeah, they took yeah. And Joe Bet Music, they took basically almost all of the song. And I told Stu, I said, I don't care, Stu. That's going to make our career. That song's going to make our career.
He was 100% right. He was 100% right.
I'll take 10% of everything, then 100% of nothing.
Absolutely.
So I was like, it's going to make our career. And to this day, he still says that to me. He's like, hey, I remember, way back you told me that song's going to make our career and you didn't, and it's okay about the, I was like, hey, man, I mean, it ended up working, right? And he's like, yeah.
It definitely worked.
I still remember that you said you didn't care about like as much as they were going to take from you guys because it'll make your career. And and it worked. The hitting the stage together though, it was always a joy, always great times, man. The energy, man, like, and we all three of us, we gave it our all, man. Like every time we went out there. And if a show wasn't 100% right, we were mad. Like we didn't. I mean, obviously we took it and we were just like, okay, that was, but if you were there with us, when we got in the dressing room, and a lot of people would be looking at us like, what are they talking about? What's wrong? Like, that was dope. Like, sometimes, like, if something, the smallest thing went wrong, we would point it out and we would go to work to perfect it. So we perfectionists. So yeah, great times, man. And we, one day we'll get back to doing it again.
Yeah, that was my next question. That was my very next question. Because you got to look at, there's a resurgence of real happening right now.
Yeah.
And it would slaughter if Naughty did something right now. Like it would completely fuck the whole algorithm up because it's an undeniable. There is something to be said for that combination. I can't put my fingers on it. You may not know what it is. The shit just works, and it works in a way that's galvanizing.
Yeah, everybody plays their part.
Right.
Tretch is our lead guy. He's out front. Vin is the backup guy, and I'm the backup of the backup. And I'm the DJ and I'm the music supplier. So everybody knows their parts. So when we come together, it's flawless, and we're working on it, and we'll see. We'll see.
Welcome to another episode of the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I am your host, Ed Porter. This is the place for food, music, and culture, and how they all connect.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna watch it now. I think it's dope.
Welcome to another episode of the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I am your host, Ed Porter, and this is the destination for food, music, and culture, and how they all connect. My guest today is a part of and a founding member of one of the most recognizable groups on the planet, period. And might I say, to me, top 5 dopest logos, period. I was having this debate last week about the best hip hop logos, but I can just tell you as a kid from New York, if you had anything with this logo on it, you was killing the game, and you might get a snatch from you though. But anyway, outside of that, before I jump right in, man, I'm gonna pay this man his flowers with this intro right here. So here we go. Today on TMHF, we're sitting down with someone whose work helped define an era, an architect of records that became anthems, a creator whose fingerprints can be found on block parties, cookouts, radio stations, stadiums, family reunions, and countless moments where music stopped being something people simply listened to and became something they lived. This is someone who helped shape sound that balanced street credibility with mainstream success before that was considered formula. Someone who understands that great music isn't just heard, it becomes part of a community's language. Over the course of a remarkable career, our guest has helped create records that cross generations, built bridges between hip-hop and R&B, developed artists, launched careers, and contributed to a catalog that remains woven into the fabric of American culture. But today isn't about nostalgia. It's about creativity. It's about longevity. It's about ownership. It's about what happens when a kid with a vision turns sound into legacy. On this show, we talk about food as everything we consume and music as the vibration of life. So today, we're exploring the ingredients of timeless art, the recipe behind cultural impact, the hunger required to stay relevant, and what it means to feed generations through creativity. If you've ever shouted along to a song that instantly brought strangers together, if you've ever experienced the power of a beat to transform a room, if you've ever wondered how certain records became permanent chapters in our collective memory, then you're in the right place. Today, we're honored to welcome the legendary producer, DJ, entrepreneur, and founding member of Naughty by Nature. Please welcome to the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show, KG.
What's going on, Ed?
What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? Thank you for being here, man.
No problem, man.
It's so dope to talk to you. And I had to realize that, like I've seen you've done a lot of interviews, but
Right.
not a lot about you. Like they're like there's a lot about the group and the music, but I like to get into the psyche of the creatives in a manner in which what and how it all came about and who you are as an individual. So let's just jump right in, man. Young KG, let's take me back. Before there was, before the studio, before the equipment, what was you consuming musically, culturally, and spiritually that shaped you to be the individual that you are today?
Well, it started off as a youngster, like just playing basketball, to be honest. If you want to talk about the beginning, like I've always, watched my older brother, kill it on the court and, be a basketball, superstar around the way. Like everybody, watching him and marveling about how great he was. And that was, something, that fueled me because I just was like, wow, that's pretty cool. He's doing his thing. But at the same time, it kind of, I continued to play basketball, but it pushed me away in a sense because I knew I couldn't fill his shoes.
Yeah.
Got to a point where I felt like I couldn't fill his shoes. So I started, getting into other things. I was into art. I always been into art as a little kid. Mm-hmm. So I was drawing and just into different things like that. And if you know about, with everything, like it all kind of collides, like the culture of hip hop. It's, it's breakdancing, it's music, it's DJing, it's MCing, it's graffiti, which is the art form, and all of that stuff, came into play with me at a young age, but also too learning and understanding the sounds and the different, artists and the different sounds of music through my parents. Like I was born in New Jersey, and my parents are from South Carolina. Both of them actually born in South Carolina. They both grew up in Jamaica, Queens, though.
Okay.
So my family roots is really deeply from South Carolina, mm-hmm. But my family that I grew up with is Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
So taking those trips back down south every summer, like my father would play all of the deep soul records, just everything. So from the Marvin Gayes to the Sam Cookes to the any and everything under the sun, to be honest. James Brown, like any and everything, Aretha Franklin, anything, like the signature sounds of those deep soul artists. And that's what made me fall in love with music as a whole. And I kind of, not even kind of, as I started to get into music, that's what really connected me with that, because I was able to pull back from that and just recall all of those trips and say, "Oh, I'm familiar with that. Oh, I'm familiar with that." And then and as I started, getting into record digging, I started to discover a lot more artists as I went along the way.
Mhm.
But that was the beginning of me really like learning. My father gave me my first initial lessons of music through those trips.
What was the first record that you went dig? What's the first record that you purchased on your own that, okay, I'm a see what magic I can make with this when you went digging? And for those who don't know, digging this is what it used to be. It's not this way anymore. People still do it, but not like it was. We'll go to
Well,
your record store.
they do more. Yeah, they do more digital digging.
Yeah,
I do it as well now,
yeah.
so I don't really, go into record stores or run them. Cause I mean, to be honest, I used to like when we were on in the 90s when we first came out, like we would be on tour in every city. I
Everywhere
would
you
run
went.
into
Yeah,
everywhere I went. I would run into a record store or look into that local town and try to see, especially if it's time we get in a day before or we get in something early. I would try to, man, Jesus. I would try out. That's the dog trying to get out the room. So I would try to get into the city early, and then I would try to I'll look into the phone book at the time and see what's around. I mean, we didn't have the internet early then, so I'll look in the phone book in the hotel and say, "Hey," and look around and see what record stores are close. And then I would take a trip over there, catch a cab, and run over to the local record stores and try to dig through, through the dusty crates and see what they got in there, see if I can find any gems.
Absolutely, absolutely. That I remember. So not on your level, but I remember I used to do the same thing. One time I went to Japan, and so one time I was at Fat Beats and I bumped into to Q-Tip. He was in there, just in the back, and he had like 6 people with him carrying about 6 crates
Oh,
out. He all the good shit he had, and so I remember that I saw something and he had this Japanese funk record, and I'm like, if I ever make it out to Japan, I'm gonna go spend every dime I can on on vinyl, and I did. I came up with some joints, and then I realized going through them, okay, there's some joints that's already been made with some of these records. I'm like, oh, this is where they came from. Oh, this is where, because cats would cover the
right.
labels. Cats would you wouldn't know where it came
Yeah.
from. Yeah, man. All right.
Yeah.
So
But
okay.
yeah, and then like yeah, so like I said, like you mentioned, Japan, a great place to go because I mean, there's obscure records in Japan and stuff that never make it from out of Japan over here. So it's you can find some stuff.
Yeah,
And everybody did it, like you said, seeing Q-Tip over there, all of the producers, everybody that went on the road, they were doing the same thing like I'm talking about.
yeah,
So just imagine that, like even the guys that came out and the producers that came out, before me in the 90s, they were doing it before me in the 90s, doing that same thing. And then there's some people, that did come out, they were actually still doing that before me. They were digging.
yeah.
So, I used to ask everybody that I ran across and meet, I used to ask my wife at the time, my girlfriend at the time, wife now, but I used to ask her, hey, actually your aunts, they got any records they want to
Yep.
get rid of? Or I used to just try to get records from anywhere,
Yeah.
just going around. So yeah,
No,
like that digging thing is
it's real.
it's serious, it's real and it's serious, yo.
For sure, for sure. All right, so take me back to how Naughty became a group. How did you guys formulate? Was it an official thing, or was this something that y'all were boys and it was cool? Because and you already said this already, but basketball has been a complete through line through Naughty's existence. There's always basketball references just about in anything you guys do, and I see why now. But yeah, this sports has always been a thing. And plus, you know, you made the anthem, so that way it plays well in arenas or purposely. So
Yeah. All right. So Naughty by Nature, like we formed in East Orange. We're all three of us are from East Orange, New Jersey. And East Orange is 4 square miles. And we met in high school. But when you go to school in elementary or in middle school, it's separated. So me and Vin are from the teen streets down the hill, and we both went to like Kentop and Stockton school. So I've known Vin like from a young kid because I'm from 18th Street, Vin's from 15th Street. And we all basically all grew up together down there. Everybody from, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19th Street, all the way over to the Oval Park.
mm-hmm.
So Tretch is from another side. He went to Elmwood. So he went to middle school and elementary over on the other side of East Orange. So we didn't meet Tretch until high school. Because once you get to high school, it's only one high. It was 2 high schools, but yeah, everybody's pulled together in high school. So once we got to high school, that's when Tretch came into the fold as far as me and Vin.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Tretch was already doing his thing. I'm a grade and a year older than Tretch and Vin. Mm-hmm. So Tretch and Vin were in the same grade. I was, like I said, I'm a grade higher. So Tretch and Vin were in the same health class together, and that's where he met Tretch. So when I wanted to do the talent show, I was DJing. I used to DJ. Like I said, Vin lived on 15th Street, but Vin used to break dance with a guy, my man Ski. My man Ski lived straight across the street from me on 18th Street. So Vin would break dance with him and Loke and the guys out there. And I would be in my sun porch DJing basically for them while they were breakdancing. So I would be practicing, they would be breakdancing to my practice. So one day I called Vin because Vin beatboxed as well. He was a breakdancer, but he also did the beatbox.
Okay.
So I called Vin over one day and I was just like, yo, I'm gonna do a talent show at school. Why don't you beatbox with me and I'll DJ and do some stuff and we could put together a routine. So we started doing that. And then Vin was like, hey, I know this guy, Tiny, this guy named Tiny that's in my health class that's a rapper. Maybe we can have a rapper come along with us, and I said, all right, cool. So have him come over or we'll do whatever. So we had obviously it's Tretch, but at the time Tretch's name was Tiny. He started off his name was Tiny at first, then it became Tiny T, and then Tiny T was the 2 T's, so it became Double T. Double T, and the Double T was Double T Treachery, and then that's where Tretch comes from. He just shortened the treachery down to Tretch.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's how we formed. I mean, and once we did the talent show, we did the first talent show. I think my junior year. I did the junior talent show. We did the first one, and then we also did it again as seniors in the senior talent show. So no, actually, I did the junior talent show by myself, and then me and Vin and Tretch did the senior talent show together, and that's when we formulated a group called New Style.
Okay.
So we didn't even have a name at the time. We just went out there. Yeah, we just went out there. We just, here is senior Kyrgyz or whatever, performing a set along with, Anthony Chris and Vincent Brown or whatever, And I just scratched in. In the beginning of our routine was like, and then I scratched in the Beastie Boys. It's the new style.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did our routine. It went over well. Everybody liked it. So people just start calling us the New Style because I scratched in the Beastie Boys, the New Style. So we just ran with the name. We just started, working under the name, the New Style, and just started doing talent shows, man. And we were killing the city under the name, the New Style, and doing all of the local talent shows, beating the other groups out. And at the time, the talent shows, they were judged by the fans and by the audience, put it like that. So people started calling foul. They started saying, well, New Style come with their own audience. They got a whole bunch. The crowd is basically all their people because we were deep.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we just, we created a nice fan base and a nice following. Our people were supporting us, and we were winning. So they changed the format, and they started bringing judges in. And that's when we first came across people like Apache from the Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah, and the biggest one at the time we came across was Cool V, and Cool V came through one time with Biz Marquee.
Okay.
So that's why we got so much love for Biz. Speaking of that, I got this thing right back here behind you. I'm gonna pull it into the shop real quick.
Yeah, Biz.
Rest in peace to my man Biz Marquee too.
The business. Oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
That's fire.
yeah.
Business.
So I had that made of Biz. Yup. I had a guy from overseas make that for me.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah. So yeah, they started bringing in other judges and other stuff, and we still continue to win. So we just was like, oh man, we may have something here, and from there we started going into the studio, and that's when I started putting the whole thing of the record. When we talked about record digging and all that stuff, that's when I had to, I started putting that into play, buying break beats and really focusing on break beats, understanding the break beats and doing a bunch of different stuff. I knew about them from DJing, but I really started digging and really getting into it and also going further with it. And then I figured at that point too, like as I started going into the studio, I didn't have my own equipment at the time, far as making beats. So I would just take records and ideas that I would listen to at home and go into the studio and then just loop them down. And that's where, if you think about OPP, when Tretch says, Dave, drop a load on him.
Yeah.
That's Dave Bolocchio. He was the engineer. That's the studio that we first did our whole first album in. That was in Marion Recording out here in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. So Dave was there. So I would go in with my ideas and just say, hey, Dave, loop this. This is what I want to do. And that was the beginning of me starting to learn how to produce. And then once we got, did our demo and got a deal, that's when I got my first MPC, which is sitting back there.
Still got the first one, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's sitting right. Hold up. I'm going to pull it and show you real quick. That is huge, man.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, they don't make them like that no more. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is it.
Yes, sir.
So this is my original first MPC 60.
Yeah. Damn.
That's my original one.
Dope.
Nice and dusty now.
That's gonna be worth money, especially you did all the hits.
No, I'm gonna put it in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame though.
Okay, dope.
I mean the Hip Hop Museum.
Yeah.
The Hip Hop Museum.
Yeah.
So they're building and working on the Hip Hop Museum now. I'm gonna put that in there in our showcase. I'll put the MPC in there. But that's my first drum machine I got. And then I really, really, really got into making beats from at that point. Just to go back real quick to record digging, my friend that lived 2 houses down from me that I actually started DJing with, shout out to my guy, Melvin Dinkins, aka Mufi. So me and Mufi, shared the passion of music, and we started off DJing together before any of this came into play. And then eventually I went back and we started work. We did some records together. One record being Queen Latifah's UNITY. Me and Mufi did that record together for Queen Latifah. So like I said, shout out to my guy Mufi, Melvin Dinkins, my childhood friend. Like I grew up with him. He lived 2 doors from me. And once I got that MPC 60, Mufi told me about this record store out in New York. So he told me about the record store, and he took me to the record store. I don't know how he found out about it, but he took me to it, and it was record heaven, really, to be honest. Like they had everything in there, from jazz to rock to 45s to all kinds of soul records, any and everything under Latin or anything under the sun.
What record store was it?
So,
What record store was it?
Oh, I forgot what it
Where
was
was it
even.
at? Was it in the Village?
Nah, it was in I think not Roosevelt Island, something like that. One of those spots in New York. One of those islands over there where they do the seafood and all that. I forgot the
Oh,
place,
City
but
Island. City Island.
City Island.
Yeah,
It was in City
yeah.
Island. Yep.
That's next door to me. So yeah, I was
Yeah,
back in
right.
City Island. Yeah, I know.
So yeah, yep. So right off the
Yeah,
off
right
by the
off the
Bronx and
Bronx.
all that. Yep. So
Oh,
City Island. Yep. So it was on City Island. And Mufi, I guess he might have been out there with at the restaurant or something. But anyway, he found the spot. He told me about it. I went there with him maybe twice, and then one time, maybe like the third time, I went in there. So I asked the owner guy, and I said, "Hey, man, give me a price on every record in here." So long story short, I bought basically all the records out the store. I pulled up with a U-Haul truck, wiped the store out. And then come to find out, I get a call from the guys from the Bronx, like the whole Digging in the Crates crew, Buck Wild, and all the guys. And they like, yo, what did you do? I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, yo, that was our record spot. You rated it. I was like, oh man, I didn't know that, man. Like, hey man, I'm just trying to get my library up. So, the guy gave me a price, and he's like, you know what? I ain't mad at you. I hear y'all did the same. That's all good, But yeah, so like I said, once I got going, man, and got enough money, I raided that spot, man. I bought basically everything in there, man, and I just throughout the years just went through just crates of records, or I had them just stored away to the side. And every,
yeah.
now and then I'll just go grab a stack out, go through it, and just start making records, man. And
That's dope. That's dope. And
yeah,
listen,
me and my guy, actually my man OG from Digging in the Crates was talking about that the other day. I don't know if the guy name was Roger. I think it might have been Roger, something like that. But anyway, he was like, "Yeah, man, yeah." And OG told me, he was like, "Yeah, you took a lot of it, but it was still a lot of gems you left in there." I was like, "I know, it's a lot of stuff. I didn't totally wipe them out, but I did." I pulled up with a U-Haul truck. Oh man, and I had Mufi, my man Wendell, with me. It was like three of us, and we just stacked that joint up with records, man.
That's crazy. All right, so let me ask you this: Did you, in your opinion, did hip hop lose something when everybody started chasing virality instead of building catalogs? Because the one thing that you have amassed, my brother, is you have a deep catalog. And prior to you, there's only been a few. Like in the '90s, there was Teddy Riley at the time. Only one to go from that had both hip hop cred and R&B cred. There wasn't many cats doing both on a high level that wasn't looked at as not
Not early '90s.
not early
Eventually,
90s.
yeah, you had a lot of guys that did it. Not early '90s from the door. I mean, yeah, because, and I mean, like I said, like there's all. I mean, because there's so many dope producers, man, and all that. Like, and I'm not going to, even try to put myself on their level, of them, because I'm fans of them as well. But yeah, like I think that what you're saying is because, like, think about it. I started off in '91 with OPP with Naughty, but then my first group outside of Naughty was John A, which was R&B.
Right.
So that's what you're getting at. So it's basically like, not only was I doing hip hop, but I also came out the box with, early doing R&B. So yeah, like there's a lot that eventually got into it. Yeah, but early, like that was my whole thing, because I was, like I said, I grew up listening to R&B, and it wasn't to me about being stuck or just doing one thing. It was about just doing what was good and what sounded good to me, and coming across the right talent. And I think that's what's missing now in the music game. It's just about them just looking for songs instead of artists that have talent and building careers. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I could have easily just said, "Hey, I'm from Naughty by Nature. We a hip hop group. I need to find me the right hip hop guy or hip hop group to do." And I was like, no, I'm just going to find what hits me the hardest, and what's the best thing I come across first. And the best thing I came across first was Janae.
Yeah, yeah, dope. And again, classics made.
Yeah.
Let's talk about just philosophy about how you construct. When you build a track, do you think of it like a recipe? Because you know my background, you know how I get down. So
Yeah.
for me, drums is seasoning, bass is the
Yeah.
foundation, and the hook is the sauce. So
Yeah.
how do you how do you know what ingredient that a record needs? Because there's something about, like, you can put on the track that you made, there's something you know indistinctively, whether you know it, it just feels away from Coffee Brown through all the next stuff, through even the naughty stuff. There's a thread.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, and like you mentioned, those are the elements. So all of those elements, not only do you have to mesh right and have to taste good together, they have to, there's a feeling. All of them have to have its own feeling on its own. Mm-hmm. So that when it does come together, it's the ultimate. And I think, like you mentioned, like even with food, it's the same, I guess the same approach. So yeah, they're all ingredients. They're all secret ingredients. They're all different ingredients that equal one great meal.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Forever, hip hop has always been a local language that made global. So did you realize when you were doing your thing that, in real time, you were helping shape how New Jersey sounded to the world? Now there was New Jersey artists out there,
right?
But you was a part of one of the biggest, especially when you got down with the Flavor Unit, when you got with Latifah and them. That was the movement, and so you helped shaped what specifically on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. So there was, when New Jersey Drive came out and New Jersey had eyes on it for the world, not just the tri-state area. Everybody from the tri-state knew, but the world on a global scale. You guys, had New Jersey on your backs. Like, it was a stamp. There was a crew from Jersey, and then it was Redman after the fact. But there was y'all. Yeah. It's a thing. I had that movement. So you helped put a fingerprint and a stamp on the sound of what New Jersey was.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, yeah. I mean, especially from commercializing it, I guess, if will. And I mean, when you say commercial, like, a lot of people seem to think like commercial is a bad thing. It's not, because all it means is just that it just broadened it. So, before us, you had Flavor Unit, you had Mark the 45 King, Apache, and those guys, and they were building the foundation of hip hop throughout New Jersey. And for Jersey and primarily, our area, because they were from the Newark and the Irvington area. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily East Orange, but they were from the area. And I mean, we had local guys like Super Six Lovers that was in East Orange. Shout out to Super Six. And even in Jersey City, they have Al B. Al now, but his father, King Al B. Al, like, those guys, like, there was so much that was going on from the hip hop inception that, it helped shape not only us as a whole, but me. And even you think about Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah, Sugar Hill Gang, it's Jersey.
Jersey, for sure. Yeah.
Yep, it's Jersey, yep. They're like most of the members are actually, I think all of them might be from Jersey. I know two of them are definitely. But I know, and then it was formulated. Sugar Hill Records was out of Inglewood. Yeah, Inglewood, Sylvia and them, out of Inglewood, New Jersey. So there's a lot that Jersey has contributed to hip hop early. We had King's Son out of Patterson. Mm-hmm. So, we have a lot. And like you mentioned, we came out in the 90s. So we came out early in the 90s. So we came out in 91. And then Redman came right after us. And Redman continues to put it down big time for Jersey.
Yeah.
And we, like, as far as shaping the sound, I guess I do, that's what it's about. Like, people doing their own thing. I just did my own thing. It's not like I was trying to create a sound. I was just doing my own thing, and it's to each his own, whether you like it or you don't, it's fine, but I just do, do my own thing and continue to do my own thing. And I mean, I feel like it worked. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, I guess when they hear it, they totally associate it to only work with Naughty. And that may be true, because that is, who and primarily what I produced as far as hip hop.
Right.
I produced for Naughty. So when I was doing stuff always with Naughty in mind. So
Yeah.
that's always been my approach. And like I said, I mean, if people feel like it shaped a certain sound, probably because I mean, I was doing certain things primarily just for Naughty.
Right. Well, it seems, and again, I'm not in your head, but just being a fan and a student of music, there's a formula that you had there was a certain, certain vibration. It didn't matter whether it was R&B or not. There's a certain vibration that you made sure those records hit. So like to this day, you put on any one of them records is a vibration that they have, and it's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Yeah, I think that it's always been one of the main things to me. Like it's always been groove orientated. Like I have to feel it. Like the backbone of it has to be some kind of groove, and then at the same time, I liked it. I didn't like the stuff to be super dark, even if it came across as slightly dark. I always put pianos and different things in it.
Yeah.
To give it some melody. I liked a lot of melodic things running through it. And I think that's when you say shaping a sound, I think that's what people associate. It's the melodic stuff. Because even if you think about, like I said, Johnny or the R&B stuff, it's just always some kind of melodic thing that goes through it that, I guess would associate, and that is one of the things I've always liked is to have melodic stuff. So if it doesn't make you, if you can't sing along musically, then you can hum along musically.
Right. All right, let's tap into some, for those who don't know, for there might be somebody that has been lived under a rock or just was born not too long ago. Let's get into and let's highlight some of the things that you're going through. So Grammy Award winner with Naughty by Nature for Poverty's Paradise, multi-Grammy nominations, founder and force behind Illtown and Divine Mill, helped discover, developed, and shaped acts including Jeanne, Next, Jaheim, Coffee Brown, The Rain, and others. And Next being, we filming in Minneapolis, Next being hometown heroes here for sure.
Yeah.
When all of that is being said, and I was around for a lot. Now that's the crazy thing because, timelines are meshed. So I was so being from New York, I was from the Bronx. When Naughty hit, I was obviously, I was a shorty. But then fast forward to 98, I come to the Twin Cities, and one of my managers I was doing music was attached to Tilo. And so Next used to come through the studio and all this stuff. When all that Butter Love and all that, I'm like, oh shit, okay. And automatically, I'm like, this feels familiar. I'm like, oh yeah, KG got his hands all in this. And then this was the thing, man. So when you hear those accolades, bro, what does it feel like to make records that outlive the era that they were created in? Because that to me, that is the testament to great work. And I always wonder, like, I'm sure Michelangelo them like, when I'm painting this 16 Chapel, this 200 years from now, this gonna be revered, but he was just doing him, and here's the crazy thing. At the time, that was the graffiti of the time. That nobody wanted that.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. Like, far as making it, like, you have no idea, man. You just having fun. You just creating what's good. And if it feels good. And sometimes, not even sometimes, obviously, some records feel better than others to you, but you still, at the end of the day, you never know what the audience is going to take to and how they're going to feel about it. That's why when people talk about a lot of records, they be like, oh, that was a sleeper record. Mm-hmm. And that's because personally, and I guess from the, why they're creating it, it wasn't a standout to them personally. Right. But you got to give it out to the audience and let them pick it and let them, decide what it is that they fall in love with. But yeah, when you making records, there is certain records that you do be like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's
Like I
got a
can't
feel
see
to it.
how this one won't work.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
this feels so great. And I mean, like, it is the greatest joy, man, like right now, to be able to do something that you love to do and make money from it and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of people that's out here that have to go to work every day and they hate their jobs, but they have to do it.
Right.
And, like, respect to them as well,
Right.
So for us to, to be blessed and have an opportunity to do this, and I'm not saying this ain't work, because it's a lot of hard work that goes into what it is that we do. So I am no way saying that like that we got it easy, because it's not. Like, there are so many musicians that hasn't seen the light of day. They won't ever see the light of day. There's so many artists that hasn't seen the light of day. They won't ever see the light of day. So that tells you that it's not easy.
Right.
So yeah, man, like, to have the opportunity, man, to have multiple records that people take to and stand the test of time, and they continue to go on, like, even from the records that I have now, that I created in the 90s, and here we are. Like, one specific is OPP, so I'll say that because that was my first record.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are 35 years later, and that record's still going. Like,
especially
like,
as
what more can you ask?
first one. Listen, that's
Right.
the crazy thing.
Exactly. Your first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's basically, it's equivalent to getting up the bat and hitting a home run.
Yeah. Your
very
first at
bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare. So, a lot of luck goes into play. It's a lot of hard work as well. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. And I'm not going to let nobody tell me that I didn't put a lot of hard work in as well.
Absolutely.
Because I sacrificed a lot, not only early, but even once the record came out, as far as my family, my relationship, and all of that stuff, my kids growing up throughout the years and me touring and all that, I sacrificed a lot. So I'm not going to let nobody tell me that what I did, ain't worth it.
Yeah, for sure. As a producer, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a producer has to hear what an artist can become before the world does. What are you listening for when you're discovering talent? Because you have an ear for talent. Matter of fact, I was talking to Devious last week. I was like, he was like, get with KG. KG got some joint in the vault. He got some joints in the vault that we did together. He's like,
I do. I actually do. I came across I got his dad too. I came across it like a couple of months ago too. I still have it.
That's great. And even that, so I go way back with Dave. So like the timelines have been blended for a minute here, but
and even full circle with Dave too. I ran back into him and reconnected to him, and he ended up doing the capsule for us.
Yeah, I seen that with the whole whole joint.
That whole capsule. He did a capsule for us, and we gave it away to a lucky fan. So shout out to Dave. Shout out to Devious, man. That was dope, man.
Yeah, that was the joint.
Yeah.
So I went with him. I was with him when he did the installment at the satellite for the Hip Hop Museum, and
right.
Because it was crazy, man. So, what are you looking for when you are discovering talent? What is the telltale signs, if any, to know that you got something?
Well, first of all, it's the overall talent. It's the overall talent, number one. So you got to look at and see if they're a singer, they have to be very talented. Like you don't want, somebody that just don't understand everything from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when I say that, I'm talking about understanding the notes, understanding harmonies, understanding everything. Mm-hmm. Because you could put them against anybody when they understand all of that. And that way, when I throw you on stage, you're going to sound exactly like the records. If somebody call you out a cappella, you know what to do. Right. If somebody say, hey, sing harmony, harmonize with me, you're going to know what to do.
Right.
So that being number one, to have the talent and understand what it is you're doing. And then from there, it's the work ethic too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's very important. Like, if you lazy, you can have a bunch of talent. If you lazy and I beat you to the studio every day and I got to drag you in there, I got to argue with you about why you should be here. I'm good. I don't care how dope you are. Yeah, man, I ain't got time for that. And then, I guess another one would be, just the marketability of it
Yeah.
from a marketing aspect. Like, what makes you different? What makes you stand out to be slightly different? And I mean, if you have the other two, marketing, we could figure it out. But sometimes, if you have all three of them, it's a lot easier, obviously. And then, if you don't, then you got to figure everything out. And I've had a mixture of all of them
Yeah.
within everybody that I worked with. Like some of them did, some of them had all three, some of them may have only had two, and we figured the third out.
Right.
But yeah, that's what it is. But the number one with me is the talent, though. You got to have the talent, and then, like I said, number two is
Work ethic.
is the work ethic. Like you, if you don't have that, man, it stops right there too. I'm done.
I feel you with that. So explain to me right now, because you like you said, you're an artsy guy. You obviously in the hoop and just a creative all around. How are you flexing your creative muscles these days?
Right now, I took a step back from music for a minute. I'm starting to get back into it because I'll never leave it alone. I love it too much. It's just that the game changed. So I had to step back and just give it a break for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I was able to do that is because I went back to my first love and it kind of soaked me up. So I was able to be doing something that allowed me to step away from it. And that's going back to working with kids with basketball and different things. And that's through our new foundation. So me and Vin, we formulated this foundation called Balling by Nature. So it's what we do is we started it in our hometown of East Orange.
Okay.
So East Orange was so gracious and fly and dope enough to renovate our childhood park, Oval Park. When I mentioned earlier about the area we come from, there's a main park down there. There's multiple parks, but our specific main park is Oval Park. Mm-hmm. And we grew up in that park from lunches. My first job as a whole period was a summer job, and that was in Oval Park. And the winter side of Oval Park and the inside part in the winter that we go in is called the Civic Center. The Civic Center is in the front of Oval Park. Mm-hmm. So in the winter, we're inside the Civic Center. That's our recreation hub. And in the back, in the summertime, we're out in Oval Park, which is right behind Civic Center. So that's where we grew up, like literally grew up after school in there every day, playing basketball, playing ping pong, learned how to play pool in there. Some of us that was lifting weights in there. I did arts and craft in there. I did Boy Scouts in there. Like I'm talking about from a youngster kid, like growing up, we all grew up in the Civic Center and / Oval Park. Mm-hmm. So as we got older and successful as Naughty by Nature, our mayor, shout out to our mayor, Ted Green. Mayor Ted Green renovated the Oval Park and they dedicated the basketball courts to us, to Naughty by Nature. So the fact that they dedicated the basketball courts, we created Balling by Nature, and now we run a basketball league on our Naughty by Nature courts down there.
That's dope.
And yeah, we give back to the kids, man. So we work with the kids down there, and we do a basketball league with them out there every summer. During the winter, we do a breast cancer awareness thing that we do to raise money for breast cancer, and we donate that money. And our goal as a whole is to help the stress of not only East Orange's recreation, but all of the inner city recreations or anything that's, sports related or youth related for the kids. If they're running short on funds, we come in and we lift it up and we round it out. So we find different ways. Like we did this other thing now that we have even in the school during the school year. Like during March Madness, when March Madness is playing, we did a thing called Middle School Madness. So all of the middle schools within the city, they play each other.
That's
during
dope.
March Madness.
That's dope.
Yeah. So it's called Middle School Madness. So we back that and we fund that. We had an all-star game with them. We brought them all the all-star, the team, the guys that made the all-star teams. And it's a blend of boys and girls.
Yeah.
So there's girls in there, there's boys in there if you're on the teams. And we had the all-star game. We bought them sneakers, brand new uniforms, everything. We made them feel like it was dope, man. And then the coaches, we shout out to all of the teachers and the principals of all of the multiple schools in the city. You know, they were coaching the kids. They would show up. The teachers would show up with cookies and everything for their teams. Like, it was really dope, man. So now we're starting to spread out. Like I said, we started with basketball, but we're now moving into flag football with the girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're moving into flag football.
That's in schools now. It's going to all the schools now. That's
yeah. We're moving into flag football. So we're backing and supporting our flag football teams around here now. So we're moving into that. We'll be moving into baseball soon for the kids, as well as soccer.
Yeah.
As well as soccer for the kids. So we're doing a lot of different things, man. And that like I said, that like being able to do that along with playing basketball myself, you know, I play basketball like 2 or 3 days a week. So along with playing basketball myself and down there with the kids and working with them and running stuff with them. Also, like along with me and Vin, we have our guy Marcus Toniel, who he's a basketball legend himself. He's an East Orange product as well. He went to Seton Hall University. He went to Seton Hall Prep.
Mm-hmm.
So he played professional basketball overseas. So we have him along with our guy Brandon Smith, who's also East Orange product, went to East Orange High School. And Brandon went to Caldwell College and he played division, I think that's division 2 or 3. But anyway, he played college basketball as well. And those two guys, along with me and Vin, we formulate Ballin' by Nature, man. And
that's so dope.
Everything, like, yeah, it's all sports. Brandon also works, part-time inside of East Orange Recreation. So we're going to start branching out, but we're starting at home with East Orange, but we want to branch out to any community. We're going to eventually branch out to every community in New Jersey. We're starting home and we're just helping out. Like I said, all these stressed communities, man, and all of the different sports that are underserved. And you know how it is, man. Like a lot of things, like there's so many teams that, you know, or these different associations, man, and these different little groups, man, they try to, you know, do these fundraisers. They try to do these different things, man. And if we can, you know, help out here, our motto is everybody does a little, nobody does a lot. We got that from Dougie Fresh. Shout to Dougie. Yeah.
That's dope.
We got that from Dougie Fresh. Yep. Yeah. We got that from Dougie Fresh. So that's our motto. We took that from Doug Fresh and we carrying that on in our city, man. So we just trying to join. Oh, and we doing stuff with with the autistic kids out here as well. Okay. So shout out to Nadine at Nason's place. So we doing some stuff with them. So we're gonna be doing a lot of different things, man. And it's all, you know, like I said, we started off in sports and it's all most primarily sports related. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, it's working. It's working with kids and the youth through sports is huge. Like you said, of course, with your background, growing up in the park, it only makes sense. I mean, I was a kid that was, you know, when we was kids, go outside or come inside. So we was outside. You go outside until the lights come on, then you come back.
And unfortunately, lately the kids have been inside playing video games and doing all this stuff. So now it's back to the parks. Yeah. That's our thing. That's East Orange's thing now. So that's what the mayor and them, they have a slogan, is back to the parks, back to the parks. So they want to get the kids back to the parks. So they've renovated a lot of the parks. There's multiple parks in East Orange. And I think they've done like 3 or 4 of them so far. So it's great. So their motto is back to the parks. So our thing is if we're going to get them in the parks, we got to have things for them to do in the parks. Right. So we got things for them to do in the park. So that's our thing. Get these kids back out into the park, man. Make sure it's safe for them and make sure they have good things to do out there and have fun.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. When I'm sure you have a plethora of stories and crossing with the likes of all the a lot of greats, specifically in the 90s, man. Like the 90s to me when I try to explain it to those who didn't grow up in that era, there was a plethora of artists, right? But everybody had their own thing. Like everybody had their own thing. Like Lords of the Underground didn't sound like Naughty. Redman didn't sound like that. Everybody had their own distinct, spice that brought to the gumbo. So which made it so dope. Like right now, unfortunately, and there's no knock on anybody, but you can play about 10, 11 artists from today and you'd be hard pressed to distinguish who is who from and that to me, and that's because they fell into the whatever's popular or whatever's working. Let's continue to just keep doing that. Like that's not.
Yeah. I always say that, man. I just feel like, and I say like, and I like a lot of today's music, but I do say there should be a lot more diversity going on because, if you think about, like you mentioned, shout out to Lords and Underground too, straight out of Jersey.
Yep.
And shout out to Do It All from Lords, Dupree Kelly, Councilman. He's a
that's
councilman.
right. That's what's respect on his name. Yeah, Councilman. That's right.
Yep. Councilman Dupree Kelly. Yep. And that's what it is, man. It's about growth. And when you think about Slick Rick, Public Enemy, Harris One, Lords of the Underground, like you said, Redman, Us, Busta Rhymes, Leaders of the New School, De La Soul. I mean, we could go on and on and on. It's just all different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and everybody basically dressed different. And I think that's all, like when, especially me personally, when I hear it and when I say it, it's like, I just need to see and hear more diversity in today's music. Because like you said, sometimes you can play all of those records back to back to back and not be sure who changed to who's what.
Yeah.
But if you did that with all those artists that I just named, it will be distinctive. Like, oh, exactly. That's totally different. Oh, that switched. Oh, that switched. Oh, that switched.
Yep.
Because everybody did their own thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. And specifically when you got down, there was another thing that they don't have today. There was crews. So you had Native Tongues. You had Flavor. You had Def Squad. There was
the Death Row crew. Now I ain't even mentioning to go to the West Coast to NWA, or even Death Row.
Yeah.
Like all of that different stuff. So it's just like it's so diverse, man. I mean, you could go on to E40, you can go on to Too Short, you could go on to Ghetto Boys. Yeah. I mean, you could go on and on and on. Everything is just so different.
Yeah. And that was the spice of it all. That you had all these different sonic landscapes to pick and choose from, and to pick up on. And then you go down south. Then it became an outcast. Right now we got this shit is crazy. And then what JD was doing out there, and in Luda, and it's crazy. So that's what I say, and I agree with you. Diversity needs to be more of a thing. And there's some artists out there. They're not super duper mainstream yet, but there's some artists out there that are carrying that torch and have a unique sound and staying true to themselves for sure.
It definitely is. Yeah. It definitely is. I mean, and that's not to take away from none of them. I'm just saying that we just need more. That's it. Absolutely. We just need more. But it's absolutely. That's why I said I like a lot of what's going on today, because there is some there is some of them doing totally different things from anybody else, and it's dope.
Yeah, for sure. All right, before I let you get out of here, man, we're gonna play a little game I call the lightning round. I'm gonna ask you some questions, and the first thing that pops into your head, man, you just spit it out, man. It's only gonna live on the internet forever. So, all right.
Okay.
All right, so, one song you wish you wrote.
One song I wish I wrote. Anything from Off the Wall.
Yeah, facts. That's mailbox money.
Right.
Hey, listen. So here's the thing. So my youngest daughter is 11, right?
Right.
4 generations. My parents, us, and my kids, and then we all are. Michael Jackson is one of them ones though. Like, so I happened to, I was blessed.
One of them ones, the one.
Yeah. I was blessed. I saw a bad twice at the Garden. I got to see the concert twice, and there's only it's a handful of people that has that power, that type of magnetism to captivate. Fuck that. I was in Vegas. I went to see this is the show, the Cirque show. They brought that. They had that hologram on. I broke down in tears, bro, at a hologram. Fucking hologram. That had me weeping.
That movie's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was a big celebration. It was a party, man. Like, the music in there was booming, yo. The speakers were so loud in there. It was rocking, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, next question. One food that instantly takes you back to childhood.
Ooh, back to child. I would say I would have to be a hot dog.
Okay. I hear you. Yeah. Good old Oscar Mayer. Okay.
I would have to say a hot dog. I don't eat them no more anymore, but childhood, yes, I would say hot dog because it was super inexpensive and you can just get a hot dog from basically anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, shit. Speaking about inexpensive, do you remember Beanie Weenies?
Yeah. I was gonna say Manwich at first. You
I said fuck with the man. Yeah, that's the first sloppy show. It's the original sloppy show.
I was gonna say Manwich at first, but a hot dog, man.
Okay, all right.
That is the ultimate one, yo.
I got you. All right, New Jersey, Mount Rushmore. You only get 4 names. Who's on it?
But when you say Mount Rushmore, like, are you saying like
music artists?
You said music, period, like not just rappers. You just said
music, period. Music, period.
Oh, goodness.
It's broad, but yeah, music, period.
Well, number one, Whitney Houston, straight up.
Facts.
Whitney Houston. I got to say Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fully qualifies because she's originally from the Harlem, but the legacy is built in New Jersey. I want to say, and I'm talking about Sylvia Robinson.
Yeah. No, that checks because the legacy was built for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Sylvia Robinson because of what she's done, as an artist, but primarily and more importantly for hip hop with Sugar Hill Records.
For sure. Okay. And
so I'm gonna say Sylvia Robinson and New Jersey. I got to put a rapper up there. It's gonna be trash.
That checks for sure. Okay.
I gotta put my own artist up there.
That's okay. Hey, listen, and nobody would dispute it.
They will. There will be some people that will dispute it, and that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, this is my list. It's not my list. It's not their list.
They get their own list. Exactly.
They get their own list, and I won't argue with them.
One artist you would love to produce today?
I would definitely have to say Tyler, the Creator. And the reason I say that is because he shows me so much love as a producer and for Johnny, for my work that I did, on Johnny. He loves that project. He loves that work. So I would definitely, I wouldn't mind sitting down with him just to discuss the different things and just, even if we didn't work, just discuss it. But I would definitely work with Tyler Creator. And I dig his music too as well. And I like a lot of the music that he do. So Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, Tyler's dope.
Yeah.
All right, hardest thing to teach: rhythm, taste, or vision?
Rhythm.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, rhythm. And the thing is, to be like, I've never been a dancer, so I'm not the best dancer. I feel like I do have rhythm though. But I mean, there's something that's just weird between dancing and having rhythm. And then even too, I like to pride myself in being great in timing. So I feel like I have great timing, but I just can't put two to two together to be a great dancer though. But rhythm, yeah, rhythm. But just like it's amazing to see some of these young kids that just their timing and rhythm and everything, and how great they are as dancers is ridiculous. As a young kid, you just be like, wow, they could dance.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
One R&B voice that gives you chills.
Ooh. Luther.
Okay. Yeah, but mine is Donny Hathaway. There's a song for you to this day. Brings me fucking tears. Like anytime that comes on, that moves me. That moves me. Matter of fact, in what was that? Roll Bounce when Pops was playing in the house because when his wife, that's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones.
Sam Cooke is one of them too, though. But
Sam Cooke is one of them.
Cooke's one of them too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Imagine it's 100 years from now. Nobody can hear your records. Nobody can watch your videos. Nobody knows what charts you topped or what awards you won. The only thing future generations know about KG is one sentence. What do you want that sentence to be?
I just want them to just say that a regular guy. KG was a regular guy. You could catch him walking through the supermarket, walking in the park, playing basketball in the park, or just driving around, or just showing up to support the kids, or showing up to do whatever it is, and by himself, so just a regular guy. So that's what I look at it as. I'm just that regular guy, man.
You just happen to have done some extraordinary things.
Just happen to have done things, but I'm just that regular guy, no different from you, man. Just to happen to do some other stuff, man, and be lucky enough for it to work, man. But just that regular guy, that's it.
Yeah. No, that's right. Tell everybody that's under the sound of our voices and can see you, where they can follow you, what you got going on, all the things, so they can tap in and talk to a regular guy that passes the glizzies in the store now.
Yeah. I'm not messing with glizzies. Not at all. But yeah, I'm at KG, KAYGEE NBN, like KG Naughty by Nature. So it's KG NBN. That's on Instagram. And then you can follow us too at Ballin' by Nature EO. So that's all of the basketball stuff that we got going on. So we're building that up right now. So you could check us out. And I mean, if you're in the Jersey area, come down to Oval Park, man, and check us out, man. Our summer league is about to start up. And we be out there. We got games three days a week out there with the kids. It's great basketball. It's great to see the youth back outside having fun. And I just enjoy watching the youth outside having fun. I enjoy watching good basketball games out there. And that's where you could catch me at, man, being that regular guy back in the Oval Park where it all started.
Absolutely. And before we completely sign off, we got some stuff in the works. We got something in the works that's cooking that is gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire when it does hit. We're not gonna say too much about it, but it's some stuff in the works, and I got to be up and close with you, man, and tell you how the things that you've done has influenced me and the effects of it all. You're a real one. You're a good dude, solid individual, and you are one that is revered, man. If nobody's told you, I'm telling you, and we appreciate you, bro, and I appreciate you for doing this.
Thanks, Ed.
Yes, absolutely. So again, if you appreciate and like content like this, please follow, subscribe, comment, tag my guy right here, and he can give you some old school recipes on the glizzies. Like hey, in Jersey they call them rippers.
No, you the chef. You give them a new recipe on the glizzies, man. So maybe if you get a new recipe, maybe it'll pull me back. But right now, I'm not messing with the glizzies, man. It's up to you. It's up to you, chef.
All right, bro. I got you, man. Listen, until next time, this has been the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I'm Ed Porter. Peace.